Welcome, Darlin, to the property.biz. Thanks for your time today. One of the things we'd like to cover is like trends in the architectural design process of properties, and what you're finding is what people are looking for in the marketplace currently when they're looking at redesigning their properties.
Hi, Anne. So at the moment, the trends that we are seeing in the market are the biophilia. People is very interested in the nature connection. So when people want to buy a property, they want to have certain link to nature, to the outside wall, and also to sunlight, ventilation, and all these sort of things that always bring you to the exterior living. So this is one strong trend that is happening at the moment. When it comes to renovation, people always want to have like this connection to the backyard. It's very important. So we are seeing that at the moment, the current trend is that people is bringing all the common spaces and they are putting it with certain link to the backyard. So this is something important that is happening at the moment. You are seeing a lot of skylights. You are seeing a lot of windows through the center of the houses, and these small pockets of nature along the design of your house. So when you go into the space and you started to live it, you will start to discover also these little pockets of nature inside of the space. So that is one very strong trend that is happening at the moment.
It's really it really flows on from the open plan designs that have been very trend setting over the last couple of years, where people want to have that seamless living space. And do you think that has been brought forward more on a personal level because of the pandemic, and you know, people need to have that connection? They feel as though not living.
Definitely. Yes, definitely that happened through the pandemic. This is a movement that started to happen in the, I would say, 2017. People started to create more nature environments inside of the house. The boom of the interior and indoor plants started to become very strong in the 2070s, but with the pandemic, this became a big movement and hasn't stopped, and it doesn't look that it's going to stop right now. You could see I have a lot of indoor plants as well, and people is becoming more and more attracted to this type of environments, and we call it like plant parents. And, yeah.
Well, that's it. You can just see, you know, whether they're fake plants or real plants, there's a lot of options available in the marketplace to bring that aesthetic into the home, where you feel at one with nature, isn't it? You know, it's yeah, no, it's really beautiful and comforting, definitely. With color trends, are we moving away from you know black, like the white look and different shades of grey? Because I know that was quite trendy. Are we going more at one with nature, a more natural look?
Well, that is very personal, but yeah, there is a trend going on. People like right now to have very earthy tones, very muted tones, and we are seeing a lot of timbers, warm timbers inside of the spaces. Light is always very important, so they are trying to keep it very light, but yeah, it's something quite personal. You could always see this kind of very modern looking in interiors with black tones and certain concrete tones as well. Is still quite strong at the moment.
That's what I'm finding, that you know, with buyers when they're looking at purchasing a property, the light aspect is nearly one of the top requests from buyers, you know, and that northeastern facing and that flow out to the yard if there's one, or definitely even a balcony space that can be you know, worked on and made aesthetically beautiful. One of your designs I really loved is you bringing the archways back into the properties.
Yes.
On one of your properties you're doing. Can you talk to that at all? Because
Yeah, of course.
really, like,
Yeah,
really, really
yeah, it's coming back, definitely. It has been there all the time, actually. But that is a form that right now it's very common in interior design and also architecture in general. Because these organic shapes and this organic movement that is happening right now, you could see through architecture as well that people doesn't want to keep that it's modern feeling that everything is square. People is more interested in organic shapes and how to bring those elements internally to soften the daily living, the daily life, basically.
Yeah, because it really helps that light come through into the property, isn't it? You know, like
It does.
You know, and it's really, really pleasing. I'm really glad to see the archway come back. One of my homes had a couple of archways in it. You know, it was built in the 70s, and I just loved it. You know,
Yeah, it is.
really
It is.
cool. And
Yeah.
it's a really nice way to bring a different shape structure into an open plan situation, isn't it? You know, like, you know, people can still walk through. And
it's definitely a great way to connect the spaces, but keeping certain warmth to it. And it also brings a lot of childhood memories that are rooted in all of us. As you said, you grew up or in the 70s, you saw a lot of these forms. I had the same experience. My parent house has a big arch, beautiful arch in the kitchen, and they had a profile with timber, and this is still there actually. So they are trends that comes and back, but they are very rooted in us, in the society. So it's quite easy to sell people on using these type of elements to connect the spaces in their houses and make it like very, very personal as well.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm finding actually, like, with people, they're very engaged with interior design now, more so than previously. Like, they would just buy a house and go, oh, okay, well, we'll just give it a lick of paint. But now they're a way more conscious of you know, adding a pleasing aspect to their property through interior design and paint and using of props through their home. Is that what you're finding as well from your clients, what they're asking for?
Yeah, definitely right now, people is not only interested in architecture, they want to see the whole pack, the whole house speaking together, how you could bring that architecture internally and how could you detail it for the little movements that you do through your houses. So all these spaces, how you feel these spaces, the warmth on it, the textures, this is becoming a very important element for people right now. It's not only how it looks from the outside, and it's also how it feels from the inside.
Yeah, exactly. It really is all about how you move through your home and how you use your home, which I think is really important, that some people just need to think about a bit more carefully, because you know, like, you could buy a house and the kitchen be in the wrong place. I'm sure you've seen that with renovating and everything like that. Yes. That you know, you have to think about how, whether it's a couple or whether it's a family, how they'll utilize that property. And I'm sure that comes into play when you're talking with your clients, because it does when I'm talking with mine. I try to get them to really think about all of that a little bit more intimately than what they would actually do.
Yeah, that's correct. That's very true. And it's the beginning of the project is very important. And that started when you are thinking to buy a new property. Yeah. So basically this engagement with your needs and with what you really want really help to select a property that suits your needs. Professionals as you really help clients to achieve all of this, because sometimes people is not sure how to translate into a space all these needs.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, so that first communication is essential when selecting properties, when buying properties, so you could have something that really suit your needs, suit the people's needs.
I find it's really an ongoing conversation, because in your initial engagement, you do talk about a broad range of things, and then I try and bring the people in, which I'm sure you do the same, to get really understand intimately what they need and how it will actually look at the end, and whether that's what's in their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Well, anyway, well, thank you for your time today, and I wish you well, and I'll see you soon.